Hello, everybody, and welcome to this, our first video for Guardians of Gaia, our Patreon page. I have with me here today Lamara. Lamara is one of the characters in the book Guardians of the Poison Fire. She is a guardian of the earth, and she works with mushrooms in particular. She has many, many projects, but I'm going to name two principal ones. One is I'm trying my best with Portuguese, Cogumelos de Portugal,
Very good.
mushrooms. Thank you, mushrooms of Portugal. And another one is Uma vez una floresta, once upon a forest. So thank you very much for being with us here today, Lamara.
Thank you for this space and everything.
Very happy to be with you. And so I'm going to start with the questions that I will be asking all the guardians on this channel. So my first question is, what do you love and what do you protect, Lamara?
I love everything, but I guess the things that call me to love more are fungi, seeds, trees, insects, water is coming into the picture, um, human beings, earth, love, connection, community. And that is also exactly what I feel and constantly I'm called to protect. It's one and the same.
Mm. Okay, thank you. And tell us a little bit more about the challenges that you face as you are protecting all these beings of different kinds that you love.
20 minutes is not enough for that. um, it's still a little bit harder for me to put this into words, but I'm actually a refugee from the green transition, to put it in some way. As my first project, a biodiversity sanctuary in my family lands, was threatened by fast train, sustainable train projects that is connecting Portugal and Europe. Um, I mentioned this because I think it exemplifies the challenges that there is in nature protection. Not only this was the plan for my land, so there are plans being made for nature without people's sovereignty, without taking account people power and connection to land and history and family, which is, I think, the most important element in it all, really. We need to be part of the land to protect it. There needs to be a connection, especially in places where it's just family, it's a family that has been there for many years. And there's, in those cases, the connection is so rich. And I think that was the case there. And then the way people look at nature with this extractivist mind, with this capitalistic, let's put it into a box, let's turn it into numbers mind. And this, in my case, triggered. So this project hasn't happened yet. I'm still not sure if it's going to happen. The plan was there. Then the plan changed. Whilst some strange things happened, and I started having a voice about it. In the end, I gave up because it started being scary. There was people following, there were animals disappearing, there were false complaints made to the police, and I was a suspect of a crime. And that process took 1.5 years to clear my name. My children were kind of threatened. Um, so I think all of this greed is the biggest threat because this was the government's hand, but I cannot even point to anyone in particular. I have some evidence of some people, and it involves, unfortunately, enough people that were probably just motivated by personal greed. people that don't have a connection, but somehow acted in sync in this destruction of what was the sanctuary and the dream and the protection of this land. This land is no longer protected. No one there is protecting it. Um, what we did, there is a little bit remained. Part was destroyed already. I'm keeping an eye. But yeah, I think this, I don't want to diverge. As I said, like 20 minutes is not enough. But I think these are the biggest threats. And when we look at Portugal specifically, this train actually is like a sustainable project in general. The way it's being conducted, it's not. Um, saying that there are a multitude, I don't know if that's the word, of other horrendous ecocides happening in Portugal. That is a fight at the moment constantly. I feel we are a very small minority of people actually taking into their hands to protect the land because we have mines. 50% of our country has been surveyed for mines and is being considered for mines, 50% of our territory. Uh, we have like the solar panel, wind turbines thing expanding, like they want to do this everywhere. In some places they have already, and it's horrendous. And we are in constant fight at the moment. Every month a new project comes up and it goes on to public consultation, and all the activists are rallying up, and we're getting more efficient, we're getting stronger, but it is like a constant fight for air. And yeah, it's a difficulty. It's
Mm.
society, the attacks, the extractivism globally. We have all sorts of investments happening in Portugal. This foreign investment, that's a cause as well. That's a really big obstacle, this capitalism. Um, and then the other obstacle, I think, is society. There's this lack, and that's my main focus of action actually, is to try to create community, to try to raise awareness, to spread information, to spread seeds and spores, because there is a disconnect. Not in all the people, not in all the humans. Luckily, we have still some examples of tribes that are living the way they are connected to the land, but our society, Western society, is disconnected completely. We cannot protect what we're not connected to.
Mm.
So that is, I think, the biggest obstacle. That's the biggest reflection. That's my biggest action. I really want to be in schools because, it's what we need to be doing now is making sure the next children are going to be treating themselves differently because nature is not separate. So it's
Mm.
about how they're looking at themselves and treating themselves, and the rest comes with that. Anyway, long response. I hope that kind of sums it up.
It certainly
And
gives
a
us an
very
idea.
hard subject as well.
I can see. Certainly gives us an idea of what you're up against. And what I would like to know now is, in the face of all these challenges, what is it that inspires you and keeps you going?
In the same way, and interestingly, people, make me really sad sometimes. Also, the fact that they're not connecting yet, it creates this fire to help them. But also the people that are doing the work and people like you. And it's all about like, for me, I tapped into this energy of creating communities that are protecting the earth. And each person that is kind of been part of my network that has showed up in my path in the last 2, 3 years since I've really started dedicating my life to protecting nature more, um, has brought me immense riches that are not quantifiable or um, I'm not able to describe them. It is just we are one, I feel. So people inspire me a lot. And nature inspires me a lot, of course, but there's not going to be any nature if we don't protect it. At the moment, unfortunately, we cannot just leave nature to do its thing because we keep ravaging it. So inspired by people.
Beautiful. Thank you. And so tell us a little bit more about the projects you have currently going. I know they are myriad, and what you envisage in the near future.
Um, so all my process has a lot to do as well with this healing coming from me and some trauma. And through this, I'm realizing my mission, and it's not fully clear yet, but it gets clear with every step, clearer with every step. And the mission is to be a connector of people and to be a spore and to be a seed and to be reaching places and to be helping create fertile soil. So basically, all opportunities that I can pursue where I'm fulfilling this mission, they are projects. So unfortunately, that makes me also open to everything. So I'm constantly getting more energy. And at the moment, I'm really feeling, I think, for the next few years, very strongly that my role is to create community in several areas. My main project at the moment is the main focus is Era uma vez uma floresta, and it is to be a voice. It is to be, the name is a reminder that we don't want to one day say, once there were forests and now there aren't. I don't want to ever any human have to tell this story to their kids. So it's that gentle reminder, let's not get there. So sharing the voices of the forests that we lost and sharing the voices of the forests that are fighting like hell right now. And when I mean forests, I actually include people as part of that. I see society in the world as a huge forest and we all have our roles. So um, and in making sure that the planet is still going to be here for grandkids and so on. So I think that's the biggest thing. With that, I have no idea how that's going to happen, but I suddenly I had this idea to have a call to see if there's lands around me that need help and that I can go help. So that's something that I've started, and I'm meeting people in lands. I'm sort of checking the energy. And the ideas are starting to flow. I have no idea what's going to happen with this project, if we can call it that. There is one new thing that was born yesterday that is going to be a little land, 200 square meters, where the owner and myself, we have decided it's going to be a capsule biodiversity garden for pollinators. So to make that place meaningful for everybody, to connect people. Um, I don't know, that's a really cool project in its own, but there's more. And I'm feeling like there's going to be a connection between people and some community being born. Otherwise, I'm exploring mushrooms and I'm starting to take part in a scientific research and I'm introducing mushrooms and people both ways. And that's something I really love to do. I'm putting energies as well to do that work more in other aspects of nature, like healing herbs and landscape interpretation, water management as well, and water landscape creation. And I think that all comes together with the other part as well. So, yeah, I think these are the main focus, but also yeah, like I said, keep being a voice. So keep sharing about ecocide in Portugal. I really want to keep doing that. That is always active. There's a book, two books, an online course. There's Ecos de la Terre, where I am part of it. Thank you, Jana.
Hmm.
Um, that's what comes to mind right now. So let's leave it there.
Wonderful, thank you. Yeah, you remind me of a mycelium yourself because there are things going in every direction, and maybe I can just say a word of how much I appreciate your help with the project of Echoes de la Terre, of communicating about the Guardians of the Poison Fire book and helping me in the development project for the film. It's really precious, precious support. Your clarity and technical know-how and all sorts of unsuspected talents really inspire me in my project. So I'd really like to thank you, Lamara. And maybe just for a closing word, maybe just give us a little feeling of how you feel when you're in the presence of the mushrooms, as we see you in the beautiful illustration by Fred Fruish in the book.
It's ever evolving, but I can share that without inviting people to when you look at any nature space to try to look at in a, I don't know if it's a fourth dimension way or fifth or sixth or seventh, but not just look at the tree, but actively do this exercise where you try to visualize at the same moment all the roots, all the tiny animals present in any one time, the birds, the fungi, the spores, the seeds, all the little things that are in the air, the microbes under the earth, the water seeping through the wormholes. Um, this is how I look at nature. And it's been a construction of every time I learn a new thing and how things are interacting and connecting, how everything is all one. Now it's I cannot look at nature and just see a tree or a plant. Well, I can go very close and just contemplate that little spot for a moment, but it's never just one plant. There's always going to be a bug. There's always going to be, yeah, biodiversity. So I invite people to look at nature in this way. And what fungi is telling me now, I've learned a lot about slime biology. Slime is not even a fungi, actually. It's a we've gave it a name for things that we don't know how to classify yet, but it's basically a unicellular organism. And slime mold have this mob intelligence that we don't understand. We can't explain it. It's scientifically impossible. But it's very close to what we know of mushrooms. We just don't have, we lack a lot of science. Uh, but what I'm feeling is fungi is moving the earth. It's inside of us, it's in everywhere. It's in the food, it's in the trees, it's in the water, it's in, and this mob intelligence is moving, it's happening. And I can see it. And I would like other people to feel it and see it as well.
Mm.
Uh, does that answer it?
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful invitation. Thank you so much. I am already getting a feeling for that. And next time I meet a tree, I know
I want to say just one last thing. I think that complements it. I think mushrooms are God. If there is a God, if there is a pure source energy, it is very, very present in mushrooms, and we have a lot to learn from them. So that's what they are to me. And I'm learning constantly. They're teaching me every day. This evolved a lot since the first time you asked me to meditate with them and ask them their message 1 year or so ago. And that was like the starting point of a new path for me with mushrooms, actually. Thank you for that, Jenny.
Oh,
So this is where we are now from that message.
bless you. Thank you so much. That
You
is,
brought me tears now, by the way.
and you brought me laughter. It's really a pleasure to be with you, and I'm sure everybody watching can get an idea of just how rich your world is and how beautiful it is to explore and get to know and form alliances with our mushroom, our fungi friends. So, thank you so much, Lamara, and looking
Thank
forward to
you.
continuing the adventure with you.
It was a pleasure to share this space and be here with you. Thank you so much, and for everything that you are protecting and creating and uniting. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.